Okay.
Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm your host tonight. I'm Dale Mayo. I'm a senior gold ambassador, temporary senior gold ambassador. I always like to put that temporary in there. Um, I'm 57-year-old corporate guy I just retired in November, and very thankful for that. Totally changed my life. If you guys are still working, I totally understand. I was working 80 hours a week when I saw the Plexus business for the first time, and what do you think I told the person that talked to us about Plexus? If you're working 80 hours a week, I don't have time, just like everybody else. But they told me that you could do this in the nooks and crannies of your life. Well, I didn't want to have anything to do with the business, but my wife started me on a product called Ease, and I suffered from chronic joint discomfort. I did, and long story short, I took that for 3 days. On my fourth day, I woke up, and guys, when I say I had chronic joint pain, I had chronic hurts. I hurt all over. And when I would get outside of bed and psych myself up just take the first few steps of the day. And that's where I was at pain-wise. And I took 6 Ease tablets a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And when I woke up Thursday morning, guys, my joint discomfort was gone. And I stopped after about 5 steps, yelled downstairs to my wife, and I said, "What is this stuff?" And she said, "What's the matter?" And I said, "It's taken away all my joint pain." And she said, "That's a good thing." I said, "Yeah, it's amazing." So right away, I had a light go off about the products, but I didn't want to have anything to do with them. I didn't want to have anything to do with Plexus as a business because I'd lost my dream, guys. And so I just supported my wife. And I thought, I say that, I told her I supported her. I took the products. I was having good success, but I have a different belief now in how you support your wife in this business. But anyway, so, the products worked for me. They were great. I got on the triplex, and 6 months after taking the triplex, I noticed my strength in the gym going up. At the time, I was 55 years old, and you're not supposed to get stronger in the gym, guys, at 55 years old. So I was documenting anyway, so I started calculating how much I was getting stronger. At 6 months, I was 12% stronger. At 8 months, I was 15% stronger. So the guy I just signed up, as I was getting on here tonight, one of the things that got him was that very thing. I told him he's 60 years old. I used to play ball with him. He's from Louisville, Kentucky, and that was one of the selling points to him was what it's done for me at age 57 now. So that's kind of a brief synopsis of how I got started. Once I got started on the products, and I don't know if you guys heard me speak at convention last year, but I said I went to convention to support my wife. Now, this is 8 months in. I've had great success with the products. I'm getting stronger in the gym. All my joint discomfort's gone. I had better bowel movements. I had more energy. I was sleeping better. Everything was better. And I still didn't want to have anything to do with this business. So we go to Super Saturday in St. Louis, and I'm the supportive husband, guys. So if your wife asks you to tag along to a function, I would recommend you go, because the light switch went off for me in here. It's like somebody reached in my chest and turned the light switch on. And I haven't been the same since. I can't stop talking about this business to people. I can't stop sharing it. I can't stop sharing the products. But Emily Roberts pointed right at me sitting on the second row, and I was there all by myself with my wife. I didn't have anybody on my team. And she said, "I sat right there last year, and I was all by myself." And she was standing on stage as a Sapphire ambassador 12 months later. And I don't know why, guys, but that just did it for me. And who knows when that's going to happen to you. So I tell everybody, when they tell you to go somewhere, a function, go. Just go, guys, because they can change your life. Just like turning on a switch for me. And that was it for Dale. I was in. Now I'm hook, line, and sinker. So that's enough about me. We've got two guys tonight that I'm going to introduce, and we got 2 Emerald ambassadors here tonight. One from Texas, one from Ohio. Tim Thomas and Willie Eickenhorst. And I don't believe I've met either one of them personally, but that's okay. I'm going to get to know them a little bit here tonight. So, Willie, I'm going to start with you, if that's all right. If you tell your story tonight and tell us how you got started.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Dale. I appreciate you having me tonight. I love talking to the guys and participating in these kind of things. And if you would have asked me about 4.5 years ago, I would have laughed in your face because I had this was not even on my radar. So a little bit about my story. My wife and I were really working hard to get healthy. That was in our diet and in our exercise. This was, you know, go back 4.5 years ago, August 2013. And we had tried a lot of different diets. We tried a lot of different, exercise regimens, and we would find results, but nothing would really stick. And Melissa, my wife, she's a diamond ambassador. I guess I should introduce myself as well. I'm an emerald ambassador with Plexus. I do Plexus, but my main job, I opened a funeral home about 8 years ago here in my hometown. So that's my main focus and my full-time gig. I love doing this Plexus thing on the side, and my wife, of course, is full-time Plexus and a diamond ambassador and serves on the board, the advisory board for Plexus. So anyway, back to my story. Melissa had been following one of her friends from college on Facebook who had been posting a lot about Plexus, and it got her attention, but she was always really weary about these supplements and these different kinds of things, because a lot of that stuff out there isn't on the up and up, and can maybe even do some more damage to you than it can good. But she did her research, and there was just something about this Plexus thing that really stuck with her. And she approached me and said, "Hey, do you mind if we give this stuff a shot?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, whatever's going to help us get healthy, I'm all for it." So she ordered the Slim and the Accelerator at the time, and we started taking those. And we saw almost immediate results. And when I mean immediate, that was just days in. I know that's not the same for everybody, but for us, we did. And we loved it. We fell in love with the products right away. Little did I know that she had signed up as an ambassador. Reason why I didn't know this is because she had tried this MLM thing before with a different company, and it didn't work out so great. She poured her heart and soul into that company, and it ate up a lot of her time and affected our family life and our ability to be together and just be a cohesive family unit. But in the end, it didn't work out, which is unfortunate because she, like I said, poured her heart and soul into that. Anyway, I had a very, very bad taste in my mouth about these MLMs and network marketing companies, and she knew better than to really come out and tell me that she was doing that. However, when she started making real money, which was just a couple of months in, and she ranked up, she showed me her check and she said, "Hey, look, I got something to tell you. I signed up as an ambassador with Plexus, and I wanted to cover the cost of our products. This, no big deal, and we'll just see how it goes." And I looked at her and I said, "Okay, that's fine." I was kind of just humoring her, to be honest with you. I didn't think it was going to go anywhere, but I thought, hey, it's $34.95. Not that bad. The products are working, and she's getting some pretty good money on the side. So, hey, let's just go with it. No big deal. I'll roll with it. Very skeptical, though, guys. Very skeptical. I did not think that this was going to pan out at all. So fast forward, oh gosh, I don't know, in December the same year, she was either knocking on the door of Emerald or she was already hitting Emerald. I can't remember. It's been so long now. And she showed me her check and she said, "Hey, Willie, we're going to Hawaii and I'm going to pick up my Plexus Lexus." And we just got this, awesome check and putting it in our bank account. I said, "Okay, so now we need to sign me up because I'm all in on this now." And either this is either the most amazing opportunity ever, or we're going to prison because this is not right. I mean, there's something that is not on the up and up here. Thankfully, Plexus is very legitimate. It's a legitimate business opportunity, and the compensation plan is unmatched. It is absolutely incredible. I signed up in December of 2013. My wife, like I already mentioned, reached Diamond very quickly. She was on a very fast-paced course to get to Diamond. It took me about 2 years, a little over 2 years to get to Emerald. I'm still at Emerald and Melissa is at Diamond, and our health has been changed. I take pretty much every product, especially the ones that you should take daily. I love every product that we have. It has changed my life. It's helped me get off of a soda addiction and sugar cravings, and just helped me feel better overall with my energy level and with my sleep. I can't say enough good things about the products. The compensation plan has changed our lives as well. We're able to move into our dream home. We've had several trips to Hawaii paid for by Plexus. We both drive Plexus Lexuses. I mean, financially, it has absolutely changed our lives. We are able to save, and we're able to give more, donate more to our charities or things that mean a lot to us, more than we used to make annually. And I don't say that in a bragging way. I just say that, and that is how large this thing is and how big it's gotten for us. So that's really our story. We're still rocking and rolling. We're building our teams and just enjoying the friendships that we've made through this opportunity, and just rocking and rolling along. So that's kind of our story in a nutshell.
Very good, Willie. Can I ask you one question before I go to our questions that I sent you guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your routine look like right now, Willie, for yourself in this business?
Well, for myself, what's something for me, my focus during the day is on the funeral home. And you hear this a lot from guys, that it's hard to manage your time and to work in those nooks and crannies, especially with my line of work. I go to work with the same 4 or 5 dudes every day, and I don't see a lot of new people. So I have to really work on building my network. And so right now my routine is really, my focus is more on the funeral home. And as far as Plexus is concerned, thankfully I have Melissa, who really puts her all in that. If I didn't have her, it would be different. So I'm coming from a standpoint, a more of a unique situation where, I share on Facebook. I work on building my network, and that would be in the form of just meeting new people, taking advantage of opportunities when I have the opportunity to meet someone and be able to talk to them about Plexus. I look for an open door in conversation, and otherwise, it's more about sustaining what we've built. I work a lot behind the scenes to work on keeping our business level the same or growing, and just work with Melissa on that. So,
okay, very good. Well, I didn't say this earlier, but I went from working 60 to 80 hours a week. When I retired, it totally changed my Plexus business, because now I do this full time, if you want to call it that. So that's why I was asking, Willie, because I knew you were still working, and what you're doing and what I'm doing is two different ends of the spectrum, because I don't have a full-time job now. This is what my wife and I are doing. She still has a part-time job. My wife does, so she doesn't even have the time that I have. So that's why I was asking. So, Tim, are you there? Hold on a second, Tim. I got to unmute you.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Okay, now you go. Okay. Yeah, now you go. Go ahead, Tim.
Okay. Sorry if I'm flipping around. You guys see my background changing a whole bunch of times. It's because I'm at my son's basketball practice, and just trying to find a good spot to be able to talk and not have any interruptions. Well, my name is Tim Thomas. I am an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus, and I've been in the company about almost 5 years now, and Plexus absolutely changed my life. I started in, I think to Willie's point, I think there's different levels of ways that you can be involved in this business, and most of them are really good. Most of the levels that you can be involved in are really good. And I always try to encourage guys to be involved in some way, shape, or form. And so, not every guy that gets on here and is watching this right now is necessarily ready to do what I do. I mean, I'm full-time in Plexus or what Dale's doing right now. We're full-time. I'm full go, 24/7. You'll see me. I'm talking about Plexus. But not every guy's ready for that level right now. But there are other things you can do to support the business. And I think that's absolutely awesome and valid to do. So I'm just going to tell you a little of my story. When we started, we had moved our family from Nashville down to Florida. Oh, and by the way, Dale, I actually live in Nashville, Tennessee now.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
I've moved around since the last time since probably what you saw. Anyway, we moved our family from Nashville down to Florida, and we had sold our second vehicle just to make it down there. We were pretty tight on money, and so we had one car, and my wife said, "Hey, hon, can we go buy a scooter so that I have something to ride around on while you're at work all day long?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure, let's go do that." And so we went and bought a little white scooter. That was about all we could afford at the time for her to ride around. Well, Plexus comes along, and I'll tell you about the scooter here in just a few minutes. Plexus comes along, and my wife says, "Hun, I think I want to try this thing called Plexus." And to be quite honest with you, we didn't think we could afford it. I really didn't know how I would afford it, but I knew that she wanted to do something from home. She wanted to work a business from home, and I thought, give it a shot. Why not? What's it going to hurt? I mean, I told her, just try to make $50 a month. That's how big my belief was at that time. But she believed that she could do it because she was watching her friend. And so she got started, and she made more than that her very first month. And so I was kind of surprised, but I didn't really want to try the products yet. I was kind of embarrassed by the fact that it was pink or something. I don't know. I just looked at that and I thought it was too girly for me. But finally, she got me to try it, and I loved it from the very first day. I actually I felt good. I felt energy, and that's why I just tell guys, you just got to try it. I mean, don't be afraid of a pink drink, right? You got to try it and see what it will do for you. So I did. I enjoyed it. So the next day, I actually snuck it because I didn't want to tell her that I liked it. But then I had to tell her eventually. Otherwise, so she could buy me some. So I started taking it, and what happened to me, long story short, was I'm getting some weird feedback there. Long story short was I started losing weight. Is anybody else hearing that?
Yes.
Some strange noise. If you want to mute it again, I'll unmute myself.
Yeah, let me do that. Okay, Tim, go ahead.
Okay. So I started losing weight after about a month and a half. Now, I lost a little bit of weight in the first 6 weeks, but I really didn't lose very much. And a lot of guys, they start using Plexus, they feel good, but maybe they don't start losing the weight right away. And they think, well, this stuff doesn't work. I mean, they don't think about all the ways that your body has to change to work with a natural product. And my body had to change. There were some things that had to go on first, like my blood sugars had to get leveled out. I wasn't diabetic that I know of, but I did feel a lot of crashes in the middle of the afternoon, and that's a sign of blood sugar spikes going up and down. And so I felt that all the time. Well, Plexus started working on that first, so I started feeling better, so I started eating better, and it started a positive snowball effect. And so after 6 weeks, I started losing weight. I started noticing I was basically shrinking down. My stomach was going away, which was awesome. My wife, my poor wife, would often complain about how heavy I was. And so I started losing weight. I lost 30 pounds in that first year. Maybe it was 35. And I continued to push forward with it. So in that first year's time, my health started to drastically change. I started to get outside, get more exercise. On top of that, we have this business that's growing, guys. And this was the cool thing, that I'm not only am I getting healthier, not only am I starting to see my family members get healthier, like my mother-in-law who had back pain that from a car accident, tore L4 and L5 discs. She couldn't even hardly move off the couch. And here she is all of a sudden, like moving around again like normal, and it changed your life. So, my health is improving. My mother-in-law's health is improving. Other family members, I can go on and on and on about it. I mean, talk about diabetes issues, talking about other pain issues, nerve issues, all kinds of things. I start to see this is really working. So we just started telling people. We just wanted everybody to know how awesome Plexus was. And we started growing this huge business. Within that first year, my wife hit Emerald Ambassador, and I joined under her about 2 or 3 months after she started. 4 months after she started. And I was able to reach Ruby Ambassador. So 1 year in, what ended up happening was, remember me telling you about that scooter? Well, I'm driving this scooter to work now because what was my wife's scooter suddenly had become mine. She asked me one day if I could drive it to work so that she could go pick up some groceries, I think was her excuse. I can't remember. But here I am driving this little white scooter every day to work. And she comes to me and she's like, Tim, if I reach Emerald, I'll be able to get a Lexus. And here we are, we're making money. We're making money. Hey, Philip, nice picture there, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't know what just happened. Anyway, so we're making money. In Plexus, we could go out and buy a car, but now she wants me to wait until she gets a Lexus. So I did. I had enough belief now that I could do it. So we did it. And 12 months in, we were able to go trade that scooter in for a Lexus. And
Wow.
it was a beautiful day. It was awesome. And so from that point, after 1 year, I decided I'm going full-time with Plexus. And yeah, that was a big choice. That was a hard thing to do, to leave your job. Now, I maybe didn't have the same, I had a good job, but a lot of you guys out there, you might have pension and things that you're thinking about. I didn't have that in my job, but it was a good job. It was hard to make that decision, but I just believed in what I was doing, so I went for it, and we didn't look back. And I could go on and on. There's so many great things that have happened in Plexus. It's not always been easy, and it won't be easy for anybody. If you really want to make it big, you've got to go hard, and you're going to have tough challenges come along. But if you make the decision and you have to make the choice, you can do it. Oh, there's some other folks in here now. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell. Then I ended up losing 50 pounds total. And I also became a personal trainer in the process. Just a whole lot of cool things happened. And we've got some amazing things going now for us. We're building dreams that I never thought we would be able to do. I never realized the potential that I had until Plexus came along. Plexus opened up that door for me, and now we get it. We understand some things about life that we never understood, and we believe in ourselves in a way I never could have. And honestly, if it wasn't for Plexus coming into my life, I don't know if I would have ever seen that part of me. I would have ever understood that potential that I had, but now I do. And it's amazing. And it's changed our life in so many ways. I mean, financially, health, and also in my perspective and my thinking of what's possible. So I could go on and on, but I'll stop there, Dale, and let you ask any questions.
I'm going to ask you the same I asked Willie. What's your day look like now, Tim? Just so we'll know. I mean, you're full time.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know.
Yeah. So
what's your day look like?
So I mean, one thing for sure, every day as far as my Plexus business is every day at 9 a.m. I have what we call a power hour, and I go through a series of things where I reach out to a whole bunch of people, and I do that through social media and through text messaging and in different various forms. But I make sure that every day I'm reaching out to somebody new. I'm making new contacts and new friends through social media. Now, that's a Monday through Friday thing, and then every Friday or Thursday or Friday, depending on what's going on that week, I try to make sure that I go to a networking meeting where I actually get face-to-face with people, and I get business cards from people so I can follow up with them, and they're local. And I think that that's really huge and important if you want to expand your network quickly. You've got to get face-to-face with a lot of people.
Right.
And so I don't just focus on social media, although social media is a part of what I do. it's not the be all end all. You've got to get out there and get in front of people. So I do that at least once a week. And then I have team calls every Monday night. You can watch Rock the Pink live. We broadcast that on Facebook and on YouTube. And then I have calls every day with my team. I'm always in conversation, helping people, contacting customer service if I need to, whatever I have to do to follow up for people. And so, there's a lot that goes into what I do for Plexus. And then I've got other projects that Plexus has allowed me to work on that I'm building on top of everything. So I'm telling you what, if you go for it and you go all the way in and you build a business with Plexus, you won't believe the freedom that you'll have to be able to do the things that you want to do. So that's where I'm at right now.
Very good. And I'm just going to briefly say, you just heard two Emeralds tell you, one of them's still working a job and the other one's full-time. So I'm a senior gold and I'm working at full-time, and I have a set schedule that I do right now. I reach out, and I'm just going to tell you the numbers. I reach out to a minimum of 20 people a day, and I follow up with 20 to 40 a day. So that's me. That's what I'm doing right now. And when I was working 60 to 80 hours a week, I tried to do 3 or 4 of those. So that's how much it's changed for me. So if you're sitting here and you're working a full-time job, or you're working 2 jobs or 3 jobs, I know there's people that do that. Just do something that you can do consistently, guys. And if you can only do 2 a day, do 2 a day every day. I like to take Sundays off personally. That's just what I do. I rest completely on Sundays. So I only do this Monday through Saturday. And here lately, I've been taking Saturdays and doing what I call other things with the business besides reaching out and following up. So, Willie's working a full-time job. He told you what he was doing. Tim told you, I'm telling you. Here's the key, fellas. If you'll pick something that you can do, find what you can do, whatever that is. We talk about having a perfect 10 week. If that's all you can do, if you can do 10 people a week, do 10 people a week. Do your 10 contacts, follow-ups. Post on Facebook every day. Guys, if you're not advertising your business, you're missing out. Okay? Facebook and Instagram is free advertising. And I don't know about Willie and Tim, but I have built probably 80% of my business has come off of some post that I made. So either on Instagram or Facebook. So I haven't got the total hang of Instagram yet, but the younger generation, guys, has almost completely shifted to Instagram. So I'm making myself learn Instagram just for the business side of this. So anyway, I'm going to ask the questions that I had you guys previously. Willie, what was your biggest struggle in building this business?
My biggest struggle was definitely finding time. I had to be very intentional about that, especially with this family business that I have. I was pouring everything into it, and then being in the funeral industry, that was around the clock. It required a lot of my time, so I really value and covet my time with my family. So it was very hard for me to, when I had a time to breathe, to work this business as opposed to doing things that I wanted to do otherwise. But knowing the short-term work that you put in for the long-term gain is what pushed me to do that, to make those choices and to work it, because it's such a huge opportunity and such a big advantage in the long run. So the short-term sacrifices that you have to make, especially if you are working a full-time job out there, guys, it is so worth it. And, fortunately for me, like I said before, I had my wife working this business full-time. So I was able to lean on her. I mean, we are definitely a team. We work together in all of this. And so that has really helped me catapult my business to where I'm at today, just simply because of the fact that I'm able to lean on her so much too. But that is definitely the struggle that I've always had and will continue to have, because I'm never going to stop working in the funeral home. That's my first love. So.
Okay, Very good. Tim, what was your biggest struggle building this business?
Figuring out what the work was in network marketing. Just understanding that if you're not getting out there and getting in front of people and talking to new people every day, then you're going to always struggle. You can make posts all day long, right? You can talk and make a good game all day long, but for me it was how to actually just understanding that I was going to have to really talk to people all the time, and then start doing it and keeping consistent with it. So, and I'm not saying that was my only struggle. There's been other struggles, but that was probably my biggest one. Just to understand that.
Okay, very good. Mine was right between here, guys. This was mine. This was my biggest struggle because I'd been in network marketing before, and because Plexus is so different than all the other network marketing companies out there, I had to change everything that I thought network marketing was because this is so different. And I had the time issue because I was working up to 80 hours a week. So once I figured out the nooks and crannies thing worked, then I had to work on myself. Okay. And that's when I started reading books. That's when I started doing that. And my belief, I don't know if you guys have the app, it's your voice that you listen to saying things. I forget what it's called. I can't remember it now. But anyway, I heard one of the Sapphires said that she went from senior gold to emerald in 3 months when she started listening to herself and affirmations. I started doing that, guys, about the same time I retired. And my whole mindset changed. It was good for me to hear myself saying things positive to myself. We hear enough negative out there, guys. We don't. So my biggest point, I had to fix this. Once I got this fixed, and I'm still working on it every day. So, I don't believe anybody watching this tonight can say that you've arrived. And I know Tim and Willie probably feel the same way. I've still got a lot to learn. I still got a long way to grow. But now that I've got my mind out of the way, and now I know, like Tim said, I know what the work is in network marketing now for Plexus. If you're not doing your income producing activities every day, then you don't have a business. That is your business. Okay. So, and fill in the blank, find the time, whatever that is, guys, for yourself to, do your reach outs, your follow-ups. Like Tim said, sit down and have a cup of coffee with somebody or whatever it might be. So let's go on to the next one. Willie, what's the top 3 business building tips you would give everybody?
Top 3, not in any particular order. For me, I take huge value in the live opportunity meeting. And when I say live, I mean in person, hosting it somewhere where you're physically meeting people, shaking hands, giving hugs, drying tears. That was a huge, huge thing for me and Melissa as we were building our business and continue to build our business. We would host one at least once a month. We started out in my funeral home, and they started getting so large that we had to move to a larger church. You could do this anywhere. Actually, Melissa started doing it in our home, and then we graduated to the funeral home. Then we graduated to a church. But the reason why I say that's a tip is it may not work for you. I think it will. I think it works for anyone. But you find something that does. In this particular instance, the live opportunity meeting, you get to be in front of people face to face. It's just different. It's a different situation than even what we're doing right now on video. You hear the emotion, you see the emotion. We always have people share their testimonies, and usually at the end of them, there's not a dry eye in the house. And there's people walking out of there that have been completely changed just by hearing other people's stories because they're so powerful. So the live opportunity meeting is really important. Also, again, for me, time management is very important. To schedule your day out, figure out when you can work this business. If you're working a full-time job or even a part-time job where you don't have a lot of spare time, be intentional about it. Set out your schedule, set time aside each day to work this business. I promise you it will be worth it in the long run, but you got to work it. You got to make time to do it, and it takes discipline. Also, what Dale kind of mentioned briefly earlier is to be consistent. Also, with that consistency, remain positive. This is a business just like any other. It's not perfect. You're going to run into struggles. You're going to run into valleys. And it's in those times that it's so important to stay the course and keep your eyes focused on your goals. Set your goals and go for them, and then get through the hard times. You're going to have hard times. You're going to have change. Leaders embrace change. You're going to have new products. You're going to have old products go. You're going to have big changes on your teams. You're going to lose people. You're going to gain people. You've just got to be able to embrace that change and roll with the punches, and always remember that your destiny is up to you, and you can make whatever you want of this business. The sky is the limit. So those are my 3 main tips.
Okay. I'm hearing feedback again, so I'm going to mute everybody because we've had a couple join here in the last couple of minutes. So, Tim, you'll have to unmute yourself, or I can do it if you want.
We got it.
Okay. 3 tips.
Okay. And if I disappear on you guys, it's because I have my notes on my phone that I'm using right now. So the first thing is, first of all, Willie, right on. I loved every tip that you gave there. That was absolutely awesome. And I couldn't agree more. I'm going to say the first thing is you have to start with belief. If you don't have belief to begin with, then you'll work this business and it'll be just dry. And without belief, you really are, you're going to feel like you're pushing a rock up a hill. You've got to start with the belief that you actually can do this. Anything that is done that's big, anything that you're going to go for that's huge. I mean, belief and faith are the absolute cornerstone of those things. So start with the idea that you actually can do it, and then you'll have the ability to do it. So if you don't know how, you've got to work on your belief. You've got to dig into books. You've got to meet people that will talk to you about, that will share their stories. You've got to build your belief in the products, in the compensation plan. You've got to build your belief in the company, and you've got to build your belief in yourself. All 4 of those things are absolutely necessary if you're going to go to the top. If you just want to have a hobby and just have something on the side where you make a little bit of extra money, you might be able to get a little somewhere, but guys, if you want to go and make this something big, you're going to have to go from that place of belief. Let me look at my notes here. Oh, number 2 is expand your network. And I mean, you've really got to work at this. Don't expect that you're going to build this business off of the people that you currently know. Don't expect that you're going to build it big with just the people that you currently are friends with on Facebook or that you go to church with. You're going to have to get out and expand your network. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't have some of those folks join up with you. It doesn't even mean that one of those people might not be one of your rock stars that joins you and goes to the top with you. It could be your best friend. All I'm saying is that don't expect that, because if you expect that, you're going to be very disappointed when it doesn't happen. You're going to have to go out there and expand your network. The last thing I'm going to say is everything that matters is outside of your comfort zone. And if you're sorry, my sons are looking for me and just try to call me.
It's okay.
Everything that you want is outside of your comfort zone. And the thing about a comfort zone is that it's very comfortable, right? You're gonna want to. Your mind is gonna tell you all kinds of excuses to get you to stay in the comfort zone, and it's gonna feel like even your mind will even come up with silly things, like, I mean, even give you spiritual excuses things that we've had people tell us, one day they'll tell us, God wants me to do this and I'm supposed to join Plexus. And then the next day you don't hear from them and you're trying to reach them and can't get a hold of them, and finally find out that God told them they're not supposed to do it anymore. And I'm not saying one way or the other. All I'm saying is that the mind will do all kinds of crazy things to tell you that you're not supposed to do this, because everything that you want that's big is going to be outside of what you feel comfortable with. And that's what's necessary for a dream. I mean, why call it a dream? Why call it something? I mean, we're talking network marketing, guys. This is, if you want to live the kind of lifestyle that network marketing can afford you, that Plexus can afford you, that I have, that Dale's going for, that my wife and I share together. If you want to live this kind of life, it's going to come with some cost. Okay, it's not like somebody's just going to walk up and hand it to you. What else in life does that happen with? Nothing. So why expect it here? It's not how it works. But it is a fantastic business, and it does work, and it's worth the work. So make the decision that you're going to do that, and don't let yourself make excuses for it. Don't look at your comfort zone and act as if it's going to all happen inside of that nice little space that you've carved out for yourself in life and everything that you're used to. It's going to take you feeling uncomfortable sometimes. Very
good. I like that. Real quick, I would just add to that. I'm not going to give you three, but one other one that I'll add to Willie and Tim is try to sponsor your level and up. So you fill in the blank, whatever is your level is it economic level, mental level, social not level? You fill that blank in, but try to sponsor at your level and up, guys, and you'll have success in this business. So real quick, Tim, do you need to take this next question so you can go?
Yeah, if that's all right, Dale. Yeah. I've got to actually leave here.
Okay, that's all right. No problem.
Yeah, so you want to know what my goals are? Okay.
What's your immediate goals, short and long term?
Okay, my short-term goals. Well, I want to be Sapphire by the end of this year. That's one of my main goals. That's my first goal. And then I also have some other things that Plexus has afforded me to do. And I'm sharing these things with you guys, not just to say like, well, here's my cool life. I want you to know what's possible if you believe in yourself and you take advantage of Plexus. So one of my goals is I'm planning to finish a book by the end of this. By May. I want to do a book tour this year. So that's a huge goal, and it's really out there, but that's one of my goals. I'm also right now currently starting up a fitness brand. So I'm planning to launch that on April 1st. I'm planning on trying to double my Rock the Dream. So we have Rock the Pink, which is our Plexus thing that we do, but we've expanded into Rock the Dream, and it's a motivational type of thing and training and teaching, and it's all about going after your dreams. And so I want to double our attendance for that on our next teaching we do. And then for long-term goals, I'm going for diamond. I mean, that's actually what I'm going for is double diamond, and my wife is going for double diamond. So we want to be double diamond, and make all kinds of money that's ridiculous. The other thing we want to do is, what's that? Oh, okay, sorry. The other thing we're trying to do is I want to help my kids. I want at least one of them to be able to reach the NBA because that's their goals. So I want to help them do that. And one of these days I want to own a professional basketball or baseball team. So there you go.
Very good. I like that. Willie, how about yourself? Short and long-term goals.
Short term and Plexus specific, it would be a continuous short term goal is to sign 3 people every month at least. That's a continuous short term goal. And also a goal that's really challenging for me right now, and something that Tim had touched on earlier, was building my network, continuing to expand my network in whatever form that comes. I really have to work hard at that, because the nature of my business and the exposure that I get to other folks. So I have to lean on social media a lot and different things like that. So that's definitely a continuous short-term goal as well. Long-term, would of course be to reach diamond. Double diamond is even better, but baby steps. We'll go for sapphire first, and then hopefully diamond very soon. When I saw last year at convention, Rob Heffley, some of y'all may know him. He's a good friend of mine. He had his life just blew up right around convention time. He hit diamond. He was really looking good, losing a lot of weight. He just had everything going for him. And I watched him cross that stage as a diamond at convention last year. And I told myself that by convention of this year, I would be diamond. Now that's a pretty lofty goal. I don't know if I'm going to make it or not, but I sure am going to try. That's certainly what I'm going for. Non-Plexus related, of course, with the funeral home. We're in the process of expanding. We're going to be moving locations soon, possibly, or growing where we're at right now. So that is a huge goal of mine, is to get that completed before the summer, really by the middle of the summer. So those are some of the goals I'm running with right now.
Very good. My short-term goal is I'm a senior gold now. I want to be ruby by the end of April, and I want to be emerald by convention. And long-term goal for me is, I'm like you guys. I want to go diamond. I'm going to go diamond. I tell that to everybody. I just got to wait for my points to catch up, because now that I'm doing this full time, I can see. I asked my wife just the other day. I said, "Can you see it happening right before our eyes?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "I can too." So, I want to encourage everybody on this call tonight to take advantage of this super silver sale that's going on right now, guys. This promotion. I put a challenge out to our team. Say, raise your hand if you've been silver and lost it, and or haven't reached gold yet. Raise your hand. I said, we will help you. Well, we've had 6 people raise their hand. So, short-term goal, I want to help them 6 people go super silver. Preston, I see you raising your hand. You can do it. I believe everybody watching this, if you haven't hit gold yet, guys, you can do super silver from now to the end of March. And I'm just going to tell you that the reason the women kick the men's butt in this business is because they talk about it more than the guys do. Okay? I will never make an excuse about being a man ambassador. I don't call myself a man ambassador. I tell everybody I'm an ambassador for Plexus, just like my wife is. And personally, I am trying to outdo my wife. Even though she's my sponsor, I'm trying to outdo her. Okay? So, and we're building this together. So if you and your wife are building this together, I tell every man, you want to build this business, you want to help your wife, you want to support your wife, be her biggest leg. So that's short-term, long-term goal for Dale. One of the questions I saw pop up in the chat was, how does a man talk to a woman, or vice versa, about, how do I talk to somebody? If I know the need and these products can fill that need, then I will talk to a man or woman. And if I start feeling that there's uncomfortableness on the other side from the woman, then I'll refer them to my wife. And my wife does the same thing. She'll refer them to me. So that's how we do it as a couple. I don't know if Willie and you and your wife do, you probably do the same thing. So that was, guys, we can do this. Everybody on this call can do this business. Just like I said in convention, anybody can do it. You can do it in the nooks and crannies of your life, and your excuse is somebody else's reason. So I want to thank Tim. I think Tim's already got off here. So I want to thank Tim and Willie for being our guest tonight. And
Bill, can I throw in one thing real quick?
Yes, you can. I'm going to check and make sure there's no other questions here.
Sir?
Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to say real fast before we go, Plexus, they've got the live opportunity tour going on right now. It is such an amazing event. As Dale mentioned right when we started the meeting earlier, it's so important to be in activity. This is a prime opportunity for you guys. They're traveling all over America. Find the city closest to you that they're going to be at and do everything you can to be there. It's not too late to register. Go online and register for the meeting closest to you and be there. It is awesome. It will build your belief. And it will just be a huge bonus for you as you start this endeavor or continue it.
Also, this year, if you take 2 guests, you're getting free enrollments. Did you see that, Willie?
I did, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I had a good January because of the free enrollments that we got at Super Saturday. So, I'm all about them free enrollments. And
yeah.
Well, and I'll tell you briefly, real quick, how we did that on our team, and I heard this a lot from a lot of the Diamonds, is we used it as a qualifier. I didn't just find somebody that wanted Plexus. I had, okay, are you going to set your subscription up? What's your goals? I did a kind of like an interview with them, and I had 7 or 8 people that said, yeah, I would do it. So then I had to pick my two. So the other 5 I set up a special with, and we end up getting all of them. So that's, I'm excited about that special. If ours here is going to be in Indianapolis. So I'm already signed up and looking forward to taking people there. So, well, I didn't see any other questions that jump out at me here. So let me check one more time. I don't see any others. So, well, Willie, I appreciate you coming on, and thank everybody for coming out and joining us tonight. And we're going to do this again. This is our 4th one of these that I've helped run. So I'm going to do another one in April. So keep an eye out for the meme. And thanks, everybody. And we'll see you all at convention. Bye.
Thanks, Dale.
All right. Thanks, Will.
Plexus.